It was the first time I called sick day in my life, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to get the sick day. I thought I would relax in the room. I could have a lazy day at home, but I couldn't handle the boredom. It made me depressed all the time. While I was driving and passing through many other cars on the road, I realized I didn't like the feeling of being stuck in somewhere I didn't want to be. The casino made me motivated and ambitious. It was the only thing I could think of if I was thinking about my ambition. The casino was almost empty. There were few people in the parking lot and the table game room, but none of them seemed happy. It wasn't like an amusement park, but a theater without any audience. I heard the electronic game machines announcing the numbers, but it was echoing back through the secluded table game room. I felt like I was walking in the empty amusement park. I could play any game I wanted without waiting for someone to leave. I saw employees talking to each other, and dealers were just looking around and talking to the other employees. I stopped at one of the open blackjack tables. The sign said Spanish, and I asked the dealer, "What is the difference between the Spanish blackjack and the regular blackjack?" The young lady dealer smiled and answered friendly.
Oh, so the Spanish blackjack doesn't have the number 10, so only face cards are considered as 10.
I nodded. It was just a little bit of a different rule. I had a lower chance to get busted compared to the regular blackjack. I placed $200 bills on the table and colored in. The game started just between the dealer. I asked, "Do you like working here?"
Yeah, everyone is nice here, and I do enjoy the game with the customers coming here. Sometimes I do get the rough customers or the angry customers.
"Oh, I believe you."
But the morning shift is actually more relaxing, and I have less to worry about the dramatic customers. You know.
My first card was blackjack. It was a good start. The dealer gave me $30 back, and I betted another one with the chips that I won. I betted 55 total. I felt pleased to play the game with a beautiful girl. I saw her name tag. Her name was Katerina. Katerina asked,
How come you are at the casino this early in the morning? You seem like my age.
"I just called in sick today. Not because I'm sick, I just didn't want to go to work today. I already made enough money in the casino yesterday, so I just wanted an extra vacation for myself."
Oh, what do you do for a living?
"I just deliver stuff to the auto body shop."
Do you like it?
"I don't like it." The game started and I got a pair of face cards. I laughed and said, "There are some decent people, but a lot of them are just rude and grumpy at me. I'm just delivering parts. It's not like I'm delivering the wrong package to the wrong places. They are mad at me because I got there late. How is it my fault that I'm following my company's direction?" While I was ranting, I just won another $55. It was about the same amount of work for 3 hours at my job. Katerina was a good listener. She understood the complaints that I had, and she told me her experiences with the rude and uneducated customers. It was fun to have a conversation with her. I was winning again today. I asked her, "I've been winning a lot in this casino. What do you think if coincidence repeats?" She seemed like she was not expecting to hear such a question.
Oh, it's hard to say. But if coincidence repeats, then it must be caused by you.
She looked around and pulled the cards to me. I had Clover 2 and number 9. It wasn't bad. I doubled down, but the card was covered. If I won, then I could get $110. I asked before she opened her card. "If I win, then it means it's not a coincidence, but my decision caused the consequences?" Katerina smiled and said,
Of course, every move in the game is made with your decision.
She flipped the second card, and she had 5 as the second card. She had a total of 10 in her hand. The next card was 3, and the card after was a face card. She was busted. She opened the card that I had. The card that was covered was an ace. She and I looked at each other and laughed.
Oh, wow. That was a good call.
She smiled and continued.
You are good at it.
She shook her head left to right and nodded. She rolled her eyes slightly and answered with an uncertain voice.
Well, we all rely on luck in life, but your call is your decision. Whoever makes the right decision wins at the end.
She matched the amount of the chips on the table and gave it to me. I already made $300, which was more than my daily wage. She continued.
I don't know. Sometimes people live with passion and try so hard to make the dream come true, but it never comes true. No matter what you prepare for, just the next few hours, days, weeks, months, the outcome is unfair sometimes.
I betted on one chip this time and I asked, "What was your dream before you started to work here?" She looked at the cards that were pulling out from the machine and she answered.
I wanted to be a fashion designer.
She smiled, but her eyes were not. I knew what that smile meant. That was the same smile I put on when I left the restaurant where I used to work. That was the day I gave up my dream and realized the bitterness of reality. She continued.
I thought I would be able to get the job in the field I studied, but the reality was a bit cold. I applied to all the fashion design positions, but I could barely get one even with the bunch of portfolio that I had. I tried my best to find a job in my field for years. I worked in the restaurant to survive. I survived and slowly yielded to reality.
How come you working in the casino now?
Oh, I do have 2 jobs. I still work in the restaurant, but my shift adjusted, so I had to find another job, and the casino was one of the options that I had.
I nodded and betted chips on the table. Katerina asked.
How did you end up gambling?
I looked at the cards that were coming out to me. I got heart 7 and another heart 7. If I betted $5 on the minigame, I could win $150. It was a perfect pair that I missed. I shook my head and I splitted. I know not many people would split with 7s, but I felt like it. I answered the question after I bet another chip. Well, I'm here to win the money, just like any other people coming here. I'm here to dream.
What do you want to do with the money that you won? Are you planning a trip or vacation?
On the first 7, I got a face card, and on the other 7, I got clover 5. I hit again, and I got number 8. I stopped when I hit 20. I answered. Honestly, I never thought about what to do with the money I won. So far I won $2,000 from the casino, but I never had a chance to think how to spend them. It's simply not enough money to do anything nowadays anyway. Dealer busted, and I won. $100. It was easy to win the money, and I started to doubt the meaning of the money. I asked Katerina, "What do you think the point of money is?"
It's something that you need to survive.
I betted $100 for one bet this time, I asked. As much as I play the games in the casino, I start to doubt the meaning of the money. I'm sure I'm playing a risky game with $100 right now. I have to work 5 hours to earn this money, but this money can be gone in 30 seconds. Dealer gave me the card and I got the pair of J. I waved my hands on the table and the dealer opened the card. Dealer had 19. Katerina matched the chips and another round started. So I won my 5 hours of life just here. I could go home with the money I just made and think about coming back the next day, but the day is long and I don't want to go back home. I can't endure the boredom. It makes me depressed. The only moment I could feel like I'm alive is when I'm in the casino. Another game started and I have 13 on my hand. I hit it and I got number 8. I won another $100 and I looked at how much I won. If I could continue winning like this, I could make another good money just sitting down and playing a game. I couldn't stand up. I was excited, and all I could think about was winning. Katerina looked at my eyes with glitter and she asked,
Do you have any hobbies?
I remembered how much I loved to cook, but once I realized the reality was completely different from what I had imagined. I couldn't get back the passion I had toward cooking. Nothing. I realized people were starting to come, and once one man sat beside me, I colored my chips and I left the table. I had $875 on my hand. It was enough for the day. I felt hungry once I cashed out. It was 2:32 p.m. It was my lunchtime. There were nice restaurants in the casinos, but I didn't want to try the food from the casino. I chose to go to the restaurant to have a nice steak and beer. Somewhere not as bright as the casino, somewhere quiet. I drove to one of the famous steakhouse franchises. The restaurant was dark and quiet. Most of the people were at work. I'm the only person who could easily relax at the steakhouse. I realized that I earned this relaxing moment for myself. I made enough money for another sick leave. The receptionist led me to a table and brought the menu. I was hungry enough to feel dizzy, and the steak and lobster menu caught my attention. While I was deciding what to order, the waiter came and asked with a friendly but surprised voice,
Ed? Are you Ed?
"Jason?"
Hey, buddy. What are you doing here? Is it your day off or something?
He was my classmate when I was in college. Yay, something like that.
Hey, where do you work now? Last time you told me you were working at the all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant downtown.
Oh, Ptef, that was 2 years ago. I quitted that place. I couldn't make much from the kitchen.
Oh, what do you do now?
Jason asked with genuine curiosity and excitement, but I hesitated to answer the question. I knew my answer would disappoint Jason. I had a sip of water and answered, "I work in a delivery company, delivering car parts and such."
Oh, how come you changed your field? I remember you were so passionate towards cooking and working in the kitchen. Your food was delicious and well decorated. Honestly, I thought you would work in a hotel restaurant.
I giggled at his compliment and I remembered my time in college. I said, "It's just tough to live nowadays. I thought I would love to cook for people, but when I was working in the all-you-can-eat restaurant, I just couldn't take it anymore. You know they were paying $2 higher than the minimum wage, and all the tips were taken by the girls who served the table. I felt so unfair, so I just chose to work in a different field. It's been a year since I worked in a delivery company."
Come on, Ed. You know all-you-can-eat restaurants are like factories. It's not the same as the culinary field. You know better than me. I swear to God. You can find somewhere you really like with your skill. Like a hotel or a bar at least. Somewhere don't treat the food like a factory.
I just laughed and said, "Can I get the steak and lobster, please?"
Oh, sure.
Jason wrote down the orders. He served a nice cold beer, and I enjoyed the meal in the quietness. I wouldn't say it was high-end, but it was tasty enough, better quality than the foods that I ate daily. While I was eating the potato salad on the plate, Jason came again, and he talked with a smiley face.
Hey, Ed. So I just spoke to the kitchen. They said they need someone as kitchen assist here. They will pay you $22 per hour for this position. Are you interested? This is related to your field.
"Is it a full-time position?"
Oh, unfortunately, it's a part-time position. I believe 30 hours per week, but it's a good opportunity. You can grow big, and with your experiences, you can work in a high-end hotel as well.
I did quick math in my head. Only $2 more per hour, but less hours. I would risk myself to get a lower wage. I couldn't take the offer. "Sorry, Jason. I make a little bit more than the offer. I think it's better for me to stay in my current position. You know everything is expensive nowadays. I live with paycheck to paycheck. I lose what I have now. Thank you for the offer, though."
I understand. Sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. I just wanted to work with you again and see the passion that you had. You were my motivation, you know?
Jason looked at another table and he said,
I will be back soon.
I finished the meal and cleared my mouth with the fresh beer. I felt slightly tipsy from the cold beer on the hot and humid day. I waited until Jason came back and I asked for the bills. Jason came with the bill and the card machine. It was a total of $77.84. It was quite an expensive meal, but I didn't mind paying for it. I made money from the casino anyway. I pulled out my wallet and paid him $100 bill. Jason glanced at my wallet and asked,
Oh wow, that's plenty of cash in your wallet. How did you earn that?
I laughed proudly and answered, I made it from the casino. I made $2,000 in the last couple weeks. I looked at Jason's eyes. His deep brown eyes turned into a grayish brown, just like charcoal. He raised his eyebrows and said,
Oh, congrats.
Jason looked away, and I was curious how he was not impressed. Jason took a deep breath and looked at my eyes deeply, like he was trying to talk to my consciousness. He continued,
I know you know better than me, but Ed, casinos make you win and make you delusional. If you won $2,000, just take it and use it wisely and try to stay away from it. It makes you dream and get stuck in the dream, or just invest in yourself. You had a dream. You had a dream to be a chef in the hotel. Where is all the confidence and motivation that you had?
Jason was a guy who had a sharp insight. I believe he knew how I ended up in the restaurant. I wiped my mouth with a napkin and said, "Keep the change."
Ed, don't chase for the easy money. You need to know how to earn it. If money is your achievement, earn your achievement.
Thank you for your service. It was an unpleasant lunch,